Unlocking marital bliss.
You're so much welcome to the #1 marital show in the land and all over the world, by the way, not only here in UG, but all over the world. You want to know about marriage? You want to succeed in marriage? This is the place to be with your #1 host, Cyrus Rod. And I'm happily married, so you better be, because I'm going to teach you how to do that. Now, tonight, I want to talk about stinginess in relationships. Can somebody be stingy and be able to relate? Is it possible? Well, you cannot do the two. You can't be stingy and relate at the same time. You will lose it. I know some of you have become the Stingy Men's Association, the Stingy Women's Association. Well, I got good news for you. You cannot relate. You cannot be stingy and do the same thing of relating. Let me make it clear once again. We're going to define what lust is and what love is. If you are stingy, is it lust? Is it love? When you're stingy, we're going to find out. Can I be stingy and still get a woman? Can I be stingy and still get a man? The answer is very simple. No, you're not loving. That ain't relating. You may doubt it, but join me this very moment, because I'm going to be opening everything up for you with a wonderful guest in a minute. Once again, like I've told you, we're dealing with stinginess in relationships. Is there anything like stinginess in relationship? And tonight I have a wonderful guest, my usual suspect. She's wonderful due to public demand. They always want her here. They want to listen to her, and they want to hear her talk. So I will not disobey. I have her back. And she's going to talk to us, and we're going to discuss about stinginess in relationships. Anything like that? Well, we're going to find out. So welcome with me, Winnie Fred Zizinga.
Thank you very much, Pastor Cyrus.
Thanks for coming by here.
I'm honored.
Look, people keep saying, bring Winnie in, bring Winnie in. And especially the ladies. What do you do to the ladies?
Pastor Cyrus, I'm coming from the real world of the ladies.
Okay.
So they feel, yeah.
They want you in.
Yes, they want to talk about their things. Yeah.
Okay. Well, she's here to talk about your issues, and we're going to find out tonight when we deal with stinginess in relationship. Of late, the word stinginess has become so popular.
It's a trending word.
It's a trending word.
Absolutely, yes.
That's pathetic for stinginess to be a trending word. What does stinginess mean before we even go further?
Holding on to.
Holding on to.
You won't let go.
Don't let go.
Especially of money.
Of money.
And material stuff.
And material stuff.
Yes.
Never letting go. You hold tight. You don't let go.
No, you don't.
You're not willing to share.
No.
Everything is about you.
Yes. But then when you say you're not willing to share, then you're talking about selfishness. The stingy ones are not really selfish. They don't.
Come on, Winnie.
They don't classify themselves as selfish.
The stingy don't classify themselves as selfish?
No.
What do they classify themselves as?
They're building the economy of the home.
Building the economy of the home.
Yes, he is stingy toward his wife, by the way, and toward his children. And he's probably thinking, I am building the home. There's no money to waste. You're not putting anything to waste.
What do you mean by putting stuff? When you're speaking stuff, looks like you're going parables. You want to be Jesus over here. You know? You want to be Jesus over here. But really, you're speaking in parables. My question is, what are you up to? What do you mean? Okay, so I don't want to waste. You mean when I give money to my woman, I'm wasting?
True.
When I buy her clothes, I'm wasting?
True.
Where do you get this stuff from? Are you a member of Stingy Women's Association or what?
I think it's about to come up. It probably is about to come up, but it may not be money.
Stingy women?
That's another topic.
And you're going to talk about it. In fact, because you're still defining. This thing is so big. The other day, I walked into one of these big companies around UG. Very big. And when I walked in, they had their receptionist, and she had a T-shirt on with the words Stingy Women's Association of Uganda. I was like, no, I'm not saying this. This ain't for real. So I talked to the boss. I said, hey, what about that? I said, I haven't seen it. Oh my God, is that inside this company? I said, yeah, your receptionist over there. What is up with this stinginess? I mean, I'm not supposed to give to my family. I'm not supposed to give to my children.
Like we said last time, you're saving for a rainy day. You don't want this woman to get so used to you giving her all the time. You don't want your children to get used to saying, Daddy, may I have a watch? I don't have a watch. And you are so stingy if you bought them a watch. I mean, you see, there's a fine line between selfish and stingy. Selfish won't even consider. Stingy, now you will not buy Robbie a watch this expensive.
Yes.
Stingy will buy a watch, the one which has a battery for 500 shillings. Yes. So stingy are thinking, I'm not entirely selfish. I'm building the home. Now, how much money would you have saved if I bought this at this was about 150 pounds. So you're thinking,
pounds.
Yes.
And I'm able to pay 150 pounds.
Why would you?
So if I don't pay 150 pounds, then I can use 150 pounds for what?
50 pounds for the wife's watch. But you can spend on yourself in all your glory and look really good. I mean, she's working, isn't she?
So if my wife is working, then what comes in next? That makes me stingy.
Absolutely.
But
Especially. Especially if she's working. That makes you really stingy.
Why?
Why should you be giving her? I mean, she's working. Someone had a rebuttal and said equality. You're working, I'm working. So?
You're working, I'm working.
I'll
be honest with you. The only reason you work, yes, all of this is happening, it does not eliminate my nature and my responsibility to give to you.
Pastor, you can say that to the camera.
Okay. When my wife is working and I am working, we both make money. I do not become stingy and hold back. I do not lose my responsibility of giving to her. In fact, let me make it clear to you. I want you to get this so real. The first thing that happened, when I say women are to be given, some of them are going to be thinking, no, you don't say it like that. What about us? Who gives me? Well,
that's exactly what they're saying.
Who gives me? If I'm going to give her, then who gives me? The reality is this. Before you were formed, I gave you my rib.
Okay.
You get it? So from the beginning, it was about me giving. From the beginning, it's about me giving. Because without me giving, the woman would not be.
Absolutely, she wouldn't be. But then the generation we're living in, okay, so you gave me your rib, so what? Or I gave you my rib, so what? Deal with it and move on.
No, I gave you my rib to show you that I am designed to give you.
To receive from you.
Because I gave you the rib, so from today henceforth,
I will be receiving from you.
You got to pay back. No, that's a twisted, that's a perversion. Because I gave you my rib to show you that I am designed to give you. I am designed to take you higher. I'm designed to surrender my life. Look at this. Jesus says, husbands, love your wives like Christ loved the church and gave himself. So giving my rib was about me giving myself away. You get it? Yes. So I give myself to you, and that takes a man. Boys don't give themselves away.
No, they don't.
No, they don't give themselves away. It takes a real man to give himself away, whereby he hides nothing from his wife, hides nothing, makes everything open, and is willing to sacrifice so that you may gain.
Now, Pastor, let me ask you a question. Your daughter comes to you. You have many daughters. I'm one of them.
Yes.
She comes to you and tells you, I am moving out with some man, James.
Yes.
And you know for sure he's from the association.
From the association?
The Stingy Men's Association of Uganda.
Okay.
And he tells you, but you know what, Daddy, I love this man and he's going to change.
Okay.
And you will counsel her and talk to her. And that man is seated right there looking at you and saying, I'm dating one of your daughters and she's going to marry me. He's stingy. Why then do the women go for the stingy men?
No, they are fools.
No.
Look at this.
Pastor, they are thinking smart.
What do you mean by thinking smart?
She thinks she's going to go in there.
Uh-huh.
I believe world over the men are always played.
Uh-huh.
So this stingy man
Thinks he's got the reins.
he's got the reins. He's the one riding on the horse.
Yeah.
But the goods are behind.
Uh-huh.
So she's taking one at a time. She's taking one at a time. And by the time he's done, 20 years in
Siphoning
marriage
everything.
of being stingy, she has a mansion. And you wonder, what happened to my controls? So I believe that the men are played.
Now,
I don't care how stingy they are. They're always played.
you see, I love what you've said. When a man believes he can be stingy and control a woman, you've just been played. Because in the end, she will be on top. You've just been played. You can't be stingy and control a woman. You can't be stingy and control her. In the end, she will control you and you will regret it. This is what happens. When we fail to take responsibility, for example, when I love a woman, this is what happens. Most men can give you money.
Which they do.
But if he can't give you himself, he's stingy. I want people to know that. Giving myself is different from giving you money.
Yes.
Because I can give to you without loving you.
Very true.
But I cannot love you without giving to you. When I love you, I give to you. So when you come to me and say, I'm going to change him, you're literally manipulating him in the same way. So none of you loves each other. You got your scheme. You're skimming.
He's also scheming.
He's also skimming. And in the end, dude, let me help you. If she's skimming, she's playing you. You think you're playing her. But in the end, you will never win this game. You will never win this game. She's a good player. She can do it better than you. She can. But you think, well, I got everything under control.
You know, the thing is, people look back at the times of our mothers and our grandparents, and they think to themselves, well, they stayed. But if you listen to some of the dark secrets of our grandparents, our grandmothers especially, you will be shocked that that man even lived throughout the years.
Yes.
I mean, he thought he was the man.
But somebody else literally put him where she wanted him to be.
Exactly. Just because she was calm and collected and stayed in the relationship the whole 50 years, it don't mean he was boss. She was boss.
I hear you.
She was boss. But then, Pastor Cyrus, we're talking about stinginess in marriages. Stinginess, there's an opposite to it. There's giving.
That's being generous.
That's being generous.
You never get weary of giving.
No. And
you always give.
Exactly. And when we get into a marriage, I'm giving of myself and I'm giving myself. Of myself is the things that I am able to do, the things that I may come with, and my flaws as well.
Yeah, when I give of myself, that means I am sacrificing my own pleasure so that you can benefit. I'm giving away my own interests so you can benefit. That is giving myself.
And then I receive who you are.
Yes.
And who you bring.
Yes.
I receive all your flaws and we deal with them. I receive what you bring. It has nothing to do with money.
But do women receive our flaws?
The thing is this, Pastor Cyrus. When the men have flaws, they justify their flaws.
Oh.
Now, when you have an anger
they will not
issue,
accept it.
No. When you have an anger issue, you'd much rather say, it's my nature. Whereas, when I'm coming from the sense of being talked to before I get married, I am told there's a proverb in Luganda which says, if you are so mad, go to the forest and shout. Like, just go to the forest, because the forest contains the animals.
Yes.
So at that moment, you are an animal.
Oh.
So you go to the forest, you scream all you want, and come back, you are calm and very collected.
Yes.
So your husband does not have to see you angry.
Yes.
But he can be angry and even hit you. So when you come with the flaws, it's not that women don't accept the flaws.
Yeah.
The men justify the flaws, even when you know you need to be helped. When you know you are a drunkard and you need help, it's a flaw. You've come with it. Maybe I even knew before we got married.
Yes.
And I have said to myself, I will accept that flaw. I will accept that you are probably a lazy man. I will accept these things. But you can justify these things. Should I drink, Pastor Cyrus?
Yeah.
You are going to call the whole clan on me. Look at the woman you gave me. She's drinking. She drinks and comes back in at 2 a.m. She drinks and sleeps over. You're going to call the whole clan, but I can't call the clan on you for drinking and either staying out or coming home very late.
Because culturally, it's justified.
True.
That I'm a man and I got the right to be stupid.
Very true. Yes, you've got the right to be stupid and to act stupid.
And to act stupid.
Yes. So
because it just doesn't make sense. I come home at 2 a.m. and it's justified. She comes home at 2 a.m. and it ain't justified.
And you know, Pastor Cyrus, you're supposed to knock once at the door. I'm supposed to probably even hear you walk into the doorway. I need to open that door as soon as you...
Before I break it.
Before you don't need to even hit it, bang it, or knock. I need to be there. Or a child needs to be there. Now, the women do protect the children, so the children don't have to be there. So the mom has to be there to open for you. So to answer your question, the women do accept the flaws that the men come with.
Yes.
It becomes too much when you do not change. You don't want it to be talked about. And then we also have this...
Look at this. You have what?
Flaws.
Flaws. Okay. But look at this. You accept the flaws.
Yes.
I think that can also be a problem. There's a difference between accepting the flaws and tolerating the flaws.
Now, Pastor Cyrus, you're taking me to a place where I have been speaking to women. There's something called unconditional love.
Thank you. That's where I was taking you to.
Now, unconditional love can accept these flaws. Because I love you unconditionally, you can beat me when you want, as and when you want. Because I love you. It's unconditional forgiveness as well.
Yes.
Unconditional. I mean, the grace is sufficient for you to continue sinning. But it's not sufficient for me to pack my bags and leave. Mm-hmm. So we have spoken about unconditional love. It's recently that I was talking to a lady about unconditional love and said, but Winnie, does unconditional love mean accepting this bad behavior? Because even his behavior is going to become unconditional.
You're going to accept it unconditionally. Yes. I love you too much that I want to see change. I'm going to bear with you because I believe this is not the final picture of you. There is your final picture. You have overcome this. You've gotten out of this. So my loving you unconditionally is bringing a sense of acceptance and belonging to you, where you finally say, enough. I've treated this man in a very bad way. Enough is enough. It's time I change.
Then you change, yes.
And then I change.
Yes.
Now, when you talk about the stinginess, okay?
Yes.
You hold back. That means, you know what? Probably 99% or 90% of marriages are nothing but full of stingy people. Because if I don't give myself to you, if I am not patient with you, I am stingy.
It is true.
If I am rude, I am stingy.
Yes.
If I am arrogant, I am stingy. Every negative aspect of behavior displays stinginess and not love.
Contrary to the gifts of the Holy Spirit.
Contrary to the gifts and the fruit of the Spirit of God. The fruit.
Yes.
Now you look at this. Love, patience, kindness, You know?
I'm holding back all those.
You hold back all this and you say no because you're stingy.
True.
You hold back
because
patience.
if you did not hold those things back, if you did not hold them back, it is easy for you to give your money.
To give them.
To give your possessions. I mean, you're not holding back.
Thank you. It begins with the love. If I hold back kindness and I hold back patience and I hold back I hold back seeking good for you. I hold back the long suffering and I don't give it away. I am not loving.
No, you are not.
So because I am not loving, why do I hold back? I hold back because I am afraid that when I give it away, I shall be taken advantage of.
Fear.
Thank you. And where fear is, perfect love does not stand. So now you hold back love. And when you hold back love, it becomes easy to hold back a car, to hold back a dress, to hold back money. And then you say,
hold back an expensive gift for your wife.
to hold back an expensive gift for my wife when I just bought a jersey for $220. But I hold back her hair styling that is going to cost $500 or maybe $20. I'm like, what are you trying to do? $20? Lord have mercy. $20 for your hair?
My haircut costs only $5.
My hair just $5 and I'm good. Well, you're a man and she's a lady, okay? And her hair is greater than yours. So you better get to understand. You got to give to her. And this is where love is. If I love you, I give to you.
Is it in Matthew 16, I think 25, where it talks about laying down your life?
Yes. There is no greater love than a man laying down his life for a friend. Let me ask you a question. When a man, on average, when a man meets a woman and says, I love you, what does the woman think? What does it mean to a woman?
Which woman are we talking about?
The average woman out there watching us.
My bills are going to be paid.
Uh-huh.
I may get a house.
Uh-huh.
I'll have children.
Because I said I love you.
Yes.
You look at what you are going to get.
True.
Okay.
And then maybe if this man is not like all these other men, he will look after me.
He'll take care of you.
He will take care of me and my children.
Now look at this. I love that. Those expectations are so wonderful. But you know the negative part of them is that the women interpret it in a wrong way. Because I love you literally means I have made a conscious decision to seek what is best for you at my expense.
But Pastor Cyrus, what does the average man think?
The average man thinks, I'm going to have sex.
One, I'm not going to do my laundry anymore.
I won't do my laundry anymore. I have a cook, a chef. I have somebody to clean the house and give me peace when I come back from home, from work. And that is something I tell men, that women don't give you peace in the morning. You go to work, you lose it, you come back, and you expect her to have peace and peace enough to give back to you who lost it every evening. What kind of man are you?
But that is what we are told, and that is what you are told.
No. I want to tell you something. Real men hold their peace. In fact, by the time they're going back home to meet their wife, they want to go and make sure they give her peace also. They don't go to get peace because that is stinginess. No. Stinginess is you going expecting to receive all the time, but holding to everything you receive. You never give. So you expect the woman to give you peace, but you never give her peace.
And that is what happens in most of these marriages.
Absolutely.
Now, how many, if you went to probably a sample of about 50 homes this evening.
Yes.
Both are out working.
Yes.
Right? And then they come home. Let's say 25% of the men come home first.
Okay.
You will probably find them in the sitting room.
Watching TV,
reading newspapers, or on the bed having a nap. Now, it don't matter if he has a 2-year-old, a 1-year-old, the maid can take care of that. I mean, wife is not home yet.
Yeah.
Maybe the children, now that the children are home, the sitting room is full of a few toys here and there. He's probably just thrown them on the carpet and he's seated watching TV. They're all around. Now, 25% of 25 of the 50 couples, women will come home, walk through the kitchen, leave the bag on the worktop or in the kitchen and start there.
They leave the bag on the kitchen table and start. They just kick off their shoes and they're ready to fix the home. While Mr. Big Man is sleeping on the bed or flipping channels on TV.
And he's not had tea since he came back.
He's not had tea waiting for you to come back. No, we got to correct that dude. That's being stingy. But because when you come home, if I come home before my wife comes home, because all of us work, then I got to make sure I want to take tea. I'm going to prepare tea and make sure I prepare something so that when she enters through the door, then I can say, oh, I thought you needed some of this juice, baby. You just came back. You're tired. How about this?
Let me talk about the strong women who stay home to look after the children.
Please.
Now,
the generous women.
The generous women, they've given up all.
Yes.
To stay home. And you come back.
Do you know that is generosity? She gives up her work. Her degree is laid on the table, puts it on the shelf, and she chooses to raise your babies. Chooses to take care of them. Man, that's generosity.
For some, it has not been their choice. For some, the man has said, for you to be my wife, for you to bear the name Rod behind your name, you will stay home. I am talking about all of them.
Why stay home? What do men benefit?
What if David sees her on the road?
Fear.
Fear. But talking about those women, now she's home. She has been preparing home the whole day. Everything is neat and prim. Yeah. Now you come back, throw off your shoes, sit in the living room, and you can come and take this kid from me. I mean, your kid hasn't seen you the whole day. And he's trying to be with you, daddy, daddy. And he's like, oh, take this kid out from me. I'm tired. And you come and pick the kid up and you're holding the kid, trying to make him tea because his assumption is you've been home all day.
So you've been doing nothing?
Nothing.
And he's the tired one?
Yes. He's the breadwinner. He's gone on to make money, to bring home. And you're stressing him. You're straining him. He does not see value or attach value to anything you do.
Winnie, that is called stinginess.
It is.
Stinginess, because you come back home and you're not willing to give your peace. You're not willing to give your time to your babies. You're not willing to give your time. It doesn't matter how tired you are. Home is the best place you could ever go.
Now, you ask yourself a question. Do stingy men ever receive anything? Do they even want to receive?
Let me tell you, they want to receive more than you could ever imagine. They will take anything you bring. Give it to me, give it to me. But they won't let go, let go, let go.
The question I would like to ask the men, the stingy men, do you love receiving? I mean, you are so stingy.
The one you don't give. Self-centeredness.
So do you love to receive?
In fact, another word for stingy is miser.
Yeah, that is true. They are misers.
A miser. Oh my God.
And a miser, by the way, the truth about a miser is he thinks he does not have enough.
That's it. He only has everything ready for himself and him.
Yes.
Now,
there is never enough for a miser.
Never enough for a miser.
No, to share.
And when he dies, where does he leave all of this? Does he take any of this wealth with him?
I mean, with nothing you came, with nothing you shall return. So I don't know for who he's working. The stingy man is working. He'll probably tell you for my family. Or for the association, maybe.
For the association?
Maybe.
Now how do you work for an association and you can take care of your own home? You can take care of your own house, your own babies, and you're working for an association? I got good news that I'll make so clear. If anybody rises up and says, I am stingy, when we men start being stingy because of fear, we plant fear in you, in the women. And the women also become stingy. in the same way. Now, when you become stingy, you begin scheming on how to bring us down. Now, this is what is happening. Battle of the sexes. You get it? There is no love in a relationship. There is only lust. How can I use you? You're also thinking, how can I use you? So it is lust, not love. Because in lust, it's about how can I seek my interest at your expense? That's lust. And I want to take a break at this particular moment. The question is, how can I seek my own interests at your expense? We'll find out when we return.
Unlocking marital bliss. Unlocking marital bliss.
It's so beautiful once again to have you back. We had that question. How can I seek my own interests at your expense? I use you. And that's what stinginess is all about. Generosity is about how can I use me so you benefit. That's what generosity is all about, and that's what love is all about. Every relationship that fails, it's connected to stinginess. I repeat, every relationship that fails, either one or two were stingy. Every marriage that collapses, you might even be a pastor, and you say, no, I'm tired of this woman, I'm getting another. This woman has been very sick, I can't keep up with her anymore. I need a new girl. You're stingy, and you're part of that stingy nonsense. But I'm going to tell you something. We're going to break this down. Winnie, I've told the audience, it's clear, stinginess. Men find it hard to give because they think they want to get from women. They want to get the sex. They want to get, but they never lay down their lives for the woman.
They know they don't want to die. And the women these days don't want to die either.
The women, because they've learned, we've set the trend. They've learned. You see, we men are supposed to lead, okay? By example. So we step out and we are able to tell you this is how things happen. The Bible says, husbands, love your wives like your very own body. For nobody hates his own flesh. He will cherish it and take care of it and make sure it flourishes. And he says, love her like your own flesh. That means cherish her, take care of her. I feed my flesh. I give it good clothes. I give it the best. When I give it booze, I'm being ridiculous because I'm spoiling my body. In fact, the more I drink, it is impossible for me to love a woman. Oh, I'm going to say it here. The more I drink, it's impossible for me to love a woman because all I'm thinking about is me.
If you're eating unhealthy,
I'm eating unhealthy. I'm not loving a woman.
you're not loving your body, so you can't love the woman.
The reason I can't love a woman is because I hate myself.
True.
99% of you men out there, you're full of self-hatred. That's why it's hard for you to love a woman. So you devise a survival mode called stingy. If I be stingy, I'll be safe. No, you're being a coward. You're not surviving at all. You're dying. We men have to teach women how to give. If we teach them stinginess, they're going to be stingy, and in the end, we will lose, they will win.
Now,
Winnie.
Pastor Cyrus, we were talking earlier. If you went to a supermarket outside Uganda and you're thinking, I need to buy Robbie something, and you're telling yourself, my budget is 1,000 pounds. I don't care what I buy, even if it's one pencil, it's for 1,000, I will buy it. It's for my wife.
Okay.
Stingy man will be thinking, okay, there is one for $5.
It's also an eye pencil.
It's also an eye pencil. $1,000, out. Buy the one for $5 and you bring it to her. If if roles are reversed, because probably you're a frequent flyer,
Yeah.
she goes out and she buys you something worth the same amount of money, you will hit the roof. You probably give it out. She bought me this shirt. I know it's probably from one of the cheap stores there. You will give it out. Maybe wear it once and give it out because you don't hold it in regard. Yet, you do the same thing. Now, you said men lead.
Yeah.
The women follow. You have led.
And she follows.
And she follows. But it
Oh,
hurts
Lord.
you deeply when she follows exactly in your footsteps.
Gives me my same medicine.
True. Now, I would imagine the stingy women, if they're there, you come home at 2 today, tomorrow I'll come home at 2.
And I won't accept that.
You won't accept that. And then you will devise something else. You hit me, I will hit you back.
Stingy men, stingy women.
Yes.
Nobody giving love, everybody taking.
And no
what
one
they
is
can.
receiving.
No one is receiving.
Is receiving love. I asked the question, do the stingy men ever want to be loved?
That's their greatest need. The greatest need of a stingy man is to be loved, to belong. They're like babies, a child. I want to belong. You get it? So if I hold everything I have, I will find belonging. But in actual sense, you want to be loved unconditionally. Unconditional love will give you a sense of belonging. And because it's unconditional love, you will feel so good that you will be wanting to give the same love to somebody else. But because you've not received it from God, you're not connected to God, you literally are a miser. So you hold fast to everything you get. And guess what? You remain empty. You can't love because love is about giving.
Love is about giving, and love is about showing mercy.
Exactly.
And
You're still giving. You're not taking anything.
It's all love. It's in the package of love you're receiving. We are receiving that. I mean, when we get married, we ought to give of ourselves.
Yeah.
Not expecting that you're going to give me a house, you're going to give me children, you're going to wash my dishes.
But what am I giving?
What am
myself?
I giving? What am I giving of myself? What am I giving?
So
now,
that's the other made profit.
Exactly. Now, the marriages these days, the man thinks he's only going to get sex.
Very true.
That's the only thing he's going to be given. That's the only thing it counts to be given. That's the only thing that matters.
Doesn't consider you a human of equal standing where we can sit and exchange ideas.
Now, you are not with Pastor Robbie right now.
No.
Your phones are not with you.
No.
You may find 5 missed calls
and
not answer any. Stingy man. Yes. Or you may find 5 missed calls and you answer one and she'll tell you, oh, I had a bust tire, but I've got some men to help me fix the tire. Now, when you get home, you're not even bothered about the car she's been driving. Should I take it to a mechanic? Now, what do you think about, who are those men who helped you? How did you get them? Did you pay them anything? Where did you get the money from? Now, you are not mindful, oh, how did she get home? Is the car in good mechanical condition? Now, you are thinking, she is thinking, how could Cyrus come home and not even wonder how I got home? Now, maybe you don't even wonder how she got home. She's there, the car is there, you walk around, the tires are perfectly fine. You do not ask her how she managed to get home.
That is being stingy.
That is being stingy. And now, let us get to the night.
Oh.
You don't expect her to be stingy. And then she'll tell you, you know what? My expectation was that you would have checked on me. Now, because, what do they call Ntondo in English?
Being able to sulk.
Now, because
Sulking.
Now you will sulk because she has attacked your ego and your stinginess.
Oh, my Lord. Winnie, when
now,
I sulk.
Tomorrow morning, Pastor Sarah, you're going to react. In the morning, by the way, 90% of the marriages leave money for Kameza. You will talk about that another time. Now, this Kameza money sometimes is related to what the night was. Some of it is, yes, some of it is standard. Like if it's 50,000, it's 50,000 every day, it's 50,000. But when the night was good, the sex was absolutely mwah.
It's going to be 200.
Maybe 200. So if I find 200 and you're a stingy man, I will know my act.
I hear you.
I will know exactly what to do. Now, Robbie has has attacked your stinginess, your ego. 50,000, maybe 20.
I'm punishing her.
You are punishing her.
For messing up with my
Yes,
stinginess.
because you came into this, you expect to return home and be given.
That means stinginess is deservedness.
Yes, you're entitled to.
I'm entitled.
And no one is to question your entitlement.
That is nonsense.
If you are stingy, I mean, one of the gentlemen was telling us that their father was introduced to Stingy Men, and now they watch only one channel, one
UBC
TV because
UBC TV is so generous,
free.
You don't have to pay.
Exactly. Now, look at the Stingy Man
removing our boys.
removing all the bulbs in the house and putting a bulb only where he is, or turn on the light only where I am. So you are walking around in darkness.
And because the light is only on.
Yeah, on the one who makes the money, the stingy man who makes the money. I mean, it's all about self. Self. You preserve self.
It's selfishness.
It's
in fact,
selfishness.
It's self-hatred.
But they don't see themselves as selfish.
No, we are teaching them.
They think, at least I give some. It's not like my home is suffering.
You see, stinginess is so terrible that it's easily justified. Like somebody stays home and then you sulk. For example, you sulk. Some men just not having sex, they sulk. My question is, when Junior doesn't have a cookie, he sulks. Mm-hmm. When Daddy don't get sex, Senior, he sulks. Now, what do you expect this woman to do? Which of you is a child? I mean, you're forcing her to become your mother, because when you don't take responsibility, you force your woman to become a mother. Actually, and she's poor at being your mother. She can only be your wife.
At a birthday party, and this lady, she's an elderly lady. She says, you know, men they are babies. And I call her mom. I said, Mommy, hang on a minute. Men are babies. They sulk, they do these things, and he puts his thumb in the mouth and holds on to it.
And that's your husband?
Yeah, and that's your husband. So one of the ladies I was with, she's widowed. She said, so now, Mommy, we take care of them. Now who takes care of us?
Good question. And my responsibility is to take care of the woman.
Now this is the question. This was the answer of Mom. God wired you women.
That's Mama speaking.
Mama speaking. God wired you women to handle all this.
No.
She wired you to handle this.
No.
The men can't. So the young men out there are thinking, I can be a baby. I can throw a tantrum. I can put my feet up. It is okay.
No.
But the woman is born from the mother's womb, wired
to take all the nonsense.
Yes.
Now that is very wrong. We need to correct some of these culture beliefs that you're wired to handle nonsense.
Yes.
Well, you're wired. All of us are. As long as we have God, we are wired to love. And when we begin loving, everything is able to change. It flows well. Now, this is what happens. A woman will come up and cry, and the guy will say, she's being childish.
That's what they tell
The man throws a tantrum. Oh, you got to protect him. He's going to die. His ego. He's going to die. He's going to die. Well, dude, you want to die? That's a choice. Die. But you got to realize throwing a tantrum is another way of manipulating your spouse so you may have your way. It is not love. That is stinginess. So stinginess is also manifested in throwing tantrums and sulking. And if you're a woman who sulks and throws tantrum, that's being stingy also. And we need to see these things stop.
But we need to teach them.
This is what we're doing. A stingy man, what would you expect of a generous man?
Pastor Cyrus, a generous man, gives of himself. I mean, he dies.
He first gives you the patience, the love, the kindness, the gentleness,
the long suffering,
seeking your good at his expense.
Exactly.
He will cross the widest ocean.
A generous man would give of everything he has to see that you, the whole family, is living well.
That's a generous man.
That is a generous man. And so is a generous woman.
Yes.
A generous woman would give of herself. She would sacrifice it all to see that everyone is living well.
Yes. So all this confusion is because people are stingy.
People are stingy and people come to receive.
No, they come to get.
Actually to get, not
They
receive,
not
because
even to receive.
Receiving is something given to you out of love.
Exactly. But they come to get it.
To get. They come to get, and that is wrong. So the mentality that
That's
people...
what wears couples out.
True. What am I getting? I'm not getting anything.
What's in it for me?
Yes, I'm not seeing anything good. I'm not getting...
I gave you my money. What am I getting back?
Nothing. And you throw a tantrum. You not sleep home for 2 days.
I won't sleep home for 2 days. That is very pathetic. This is being a child.
Now, the men don't see it that way. And neither do some of our mothers.
And that's why mothers they have literally resigned to ridiculous behavior.
True.
Because they never saw anybody help them. But take a look. Well, some of our grandfathers and whatever, they may not have really done the love thing good, but there's something they did that boys today are failing to do.
They took on their responsibilities.
They took on their responsibility. Today, I mean, some of them would have even 3 homes.
Yes.
And they would work themselves to death to make sure all their children are taken care of.
That is true.
And what do we do today? You find a young man, I work, you work, and I call you on a table. Who's going to pay school fees today? Do you have the money?
Where's your money?
Where's your money? Man, let me tell you, the more you keep begging and asking a woman for her money, the more poor you're going to be. The more stingy you're going to become. But if you start giving her of the little you have, you're going to prosper. You're going to grow wealthy. Let me tell you, when I met my woman, I gave her the little I had. She was working and had her money. But even if she had money, I made sure I take up my responsibility. That is, take care of her, cherish her, make sure her hair is in shape. That is what they call a generous man.
Sure.
Make sure her hair is in shape. That is what they call loving her. And the more I did that, my finances started growing. Some of you, your finances are so stuck simply because all you think about is yourself. I mean, how do I buy? I got $1,000 and I can spend it on my wife. Yes, I will spend it without a second thought. Why?
Because you
I'm
love her.
loving her.
Yes.
But if we have to go through $1,000, that's too much. $1,000? No.
But you can buy yourself a suit that much.
I can buy myself a suit that match. That is being stingy. I got to learn to give to a woman. I learned this years ago. The first thing I ever gave my woman was a skirt that was used. 2 skirts and tops, and they were used.
Second-hand clothes.
Second-hand clothes. That's what I could afford. Man, you don't start from where you are not. You start from where you are.
That is true.
So that's where I could. Some people say, but you winnies of today, you will laugh at me. You will not accept the used and whatever.
You will be surprised, Pastor Cyrus.
Thank you.
You will be very surprised that there are so many women willing to accept you as you are. I mean, the struggles that they go through. What does your man do? Oh, you see, he has just started on this job. He's a receptionist. How can you marry a receptionist? And I go through all that to defend the man that I love. I'm going to bring him home. I don't care if he's a bus driver. I mean, he is the one I love. Why then would you think that I'm going to question the second-hand clothes that you bring me? I have already shown you to my parents, knowing well that I sit high up in an office somewhere and you are driving a bus somewhere. If I can go through all that to bring you home, what would make you think otherwise?
Fear.
True.
I'm a coward. I get to points.
And you lead me to cowardice, because you are so fearful. You make me fearful and make me question what exactly I took home. So someone out there is telling you that woman in that high office will never respect you. She will never love you. She will always get someone of her own class and level and all that. So you're out there thinking you need to press me so down to bring whatever it is you want out, or you will join the stingy men.
In other words, I'm manipulating you that if You don't give me what I want, I join the stingy men.
Sure.
Dude, you're already stingy. You don't need to threaten anybody. If you don't give me sex, I'm gonna join the stingy men. Go ahead and join the losers. Okay? Nobody's gonna run after you because we are tired of you sulking, and because of your stinginess and sulking and pouting and moving around and thinking, oh yeah, I ain't getting my way. That's being a kid. And the number one characteristic of a child is self-centeredness. So stingy people, whether you're a male or female, it's called self-centeredness. Your children, and it's time to grow. Winnie, man, our time is running out. I want you to look to that camera and address these women that are stingy and tell them how to handle generosity.
There is nothing profitable in being stingy. Nothing profitable, absolutely nothing. So all you need to do is just let your guards down and let God. Let God walk you this journey. Let God show you generosity. Let God show generosity through you to those who are stingy. Never know it will catch on.
Thank you so much. That is Winifred Zizenga. And as usual, you've had it. That's how we roll down here at Unlocking Marital Bliss. We never cease to bring you realities. Thank you for tuning in to Unlocking Marital Bliss. But before you go, I want you to understand that stinginess profits no person whatsoever, whoever you are. Generosity is love. Stinginess is self-hate. Generosity means you love yourself. You love yourself so much that you are willing to love others. The only reason you can't love others is because you are stingy. Why? Because you've not loved yourself. Why? You have never been loved by God. You don't know how much God loves you, so you can give love away. I want you to understand this very clearly as we close, because I'm a generous man. I'm not a stingy man. And I'm going to see you next time. Remember, marriage is easy. Ignorance is hard.
Unlocking marital bliss.